Snipper Clips. Is this like a shaving simulator?
Hello and welcome to the Player 33 podcast. I'm your host, Bob, and of course, I'm joined by my trusty co-host, Finch. What's up, Finch?
Hey guys, what's up? This is Finch, and welcome to episode 1 of Player 33. This should be quite interesting. I don't know if you've ever heard a good episode 1 of any podcast, but we will certainly do our best. Have you ever heard of a good episode 1?
No, definitely not. They're all shit. They're all train wreck. There's going to be stutters and pauses and all sorts of fun stuff, which is probably going to happen here. But let's begin by just kind of describing what the heck we're doing here, why we're even doing this.
Right.
So basically, we listen to a ton of game podcasts. That's what we do. Every day when I'm driving to and from work, I'm listening to game podcasts. Finch and I are always reading the latest news from different sources all the time. But to be perfectly frank, the podcasts are kind of boring. It's just a couple of dudes sitting together talking about headlines, which is great and everything.
Yeah, but they're, like you said, they're just all the same, and we just kind of want to see how maybe we could do it a little differently, maybe a little bit more entertaining.
And we'll see how well we do with that. I mean, one of the things we want to try to do is we'd like to integrate clips into our show. We want to actually play audio for a couple different reasons. It's freaking funny, but two, it can also give you some actual context of what we're talking about without having expected you to listen to every piece of gaming news out there, because there's a lot of listeners that just, they missed it. So they have no context, and these guys talk about something for 20 minutes that they have no idea what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So, all right, the first thing that happened...
So where are we going to begin?
Okay, we're going to begin. It's Sunday, okay? And on Thursday, the Nintendo Switch reveal presentation happened, and it was...
Dun dun dun.
It was a doozy, I'd say. I don't know, Finch. I mean... just give me two words or a word. What's your gut reaction to it?
Well, it was a long time coming, but then I hesitate to say that because the Wii U, which you have and I don't, lasted how many years? Like, what, 3? 4?
I think it might be more like 5. I think it... No,
5?
It's 4.
Oh.
It's 4. I think it's 2012 that it came out.
Okay, so technically they should be coming out with the Wii U Plus or the Wii U Deluxe, right?
Yeah, just like Xbox and PS4 coming out with their Pro versions.
Exactly, and then maybe the power of the console will be slightly above PS3, PS4. Who knows?
Yeah,
but they announced the Switch, and the presentation itself, it was interesting. The whole Japanese humor, it comes off as cute, but it's borderline creepy. Borderline that the tone that they use is borderline. I know it's supposed to be family friend, supposed to be cute, but it also comes off as kind of creepy to me. But that's just how I felt. And I love Nintendo. I mean, I grew up, let me first say I grew up playing pretty much every system from Atari, 2600 all the way. Then I had the Nintendo, and then I had the Sega and Super Nintendo, and the list goes on and on from there till current times. But the Switch definitely had mixed feelings on. But don't you have a clip to kind of introduce it to us?
Yeah. 1 second though. I love two things you said. Number one was the kind of Japanese cutesy humor stuff is kind of creepy. To me, it makes me feel really, really uncomfortable. I don't know why. I think it's with the translation as well. It's very awkward, and I just sit there feeling embarrassed as I'm watching it.
Yeah, it probably does have something to do with the language and the translation. You're probably right there, but I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to describe it, but it's it when you see it, and it just
when you see it.
It's a little weird, Exactly. It's kind of like can't describe it, but you know it when you see it, and it's a little creepy. Definitely a little creepy.
It's like porn in that way. Porn when you see it. It's very black and white.
Well, It kind of depends on your definition of porn, but
Yeah, I guess so. So okay, there's one other thing you said that I thought was
Okay.
good that can kind of introduce people to who the hell we are, Bob and Finch. Bob, I am a complete dirty casual. I played some of the Super Nintendo when I grew up, when my aunt's boyfriend would let us borrow it. I went to the video store to rent games and stuff, and I'd see like Terminator or whatever, like some movie title. I bring it home, pop it in. It would just suck ass. Then I got a 64 with my own money. Played a bunch of that. Got a 360, whatever. But I've been have been a PC gamer growing up, or at least in my teenage years on. But Finch, I mean, like, I'm the dirty casual. You're pretty hardcore about this shit.
yeah, I would consider myself, definitely a more, I guess if you want to label it, a hardcore gamer. Been gaming my whole life, had all the systems. Right now, I am kind of in the same boat as you are. I have switched to the PC. I don't actually, own any of the current consoles because I just can't justify many things, including cost and the games. Now that the games are all coming out on PC and you can use a controller on pretty much any PC game nowadays, to me, consoles are becoming a little bit obsolete.
It's only good for dirty casuals like me, but I'm a rare dirty casual in the fact that I don't have a console, but do PC. But having said all of this, you're the hardcore guy. You're the Nintendo guy that grew up playing Nintendo, and I'm the one who bought the Wii U, and you did not. I think that's kind of funny.
No, I had the Wii. I even have a 3DS, and I like it. I really do like it. But then again, the games cost a lot compared to PC. The graphic capabilities, obviously. Nintendo, as we all know, has not been super successful since really the N64.
No, yeah, they really haven't. And even as a N64 owner, when I would go over to a friend's house that had a PlayStation 1, and they would show me like some of the like intro videos and stuff, where it looked really good, like Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil. I felt just fucking jealous, so fucking jealous.
That was going to be my next question, because I don't think I've ever asked you this. When you had your 64, did you secretly wish you had a PlayStation, or were you perfectly fine having your 64 only?
No, I definitely wish I had a PlayStation. No fucking doubt. No fucking doubt. So, okay, let's get into this Nintendo. Let's get into this Nintendo stuff. It happened just a few days ago, the big reveal. I watched every second of it live. I was really excited in the sense that I wanted to see what kind of train wreck could ensue, but I was also very, very, very optimistic about it. It seemed like they were going for some cool stuff, and like with how bad the Wii U did, I don't know. I guess my hope was just really, really, really high for this. But because you talked about the creepy thing and the presentation thing, there's one part of the presentation where I don't even remember his name. I want to say it's Takahashi. He was one of the main presenters, but he was introducing the Joy-Con, and it was kind of without context. I believe it was before they showed how he could play games with it and stuff like that, but he just wanted to show off the actual vibrations and rumble and all that shit in that little thing. So I pulled a little clip. I thought I could play. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's roll it.
All right, here we go.
And this is producing on the fly, people.
Oh, yeah, that's what this is. Remember, episode 1, this is going to be shit. All right, so now here it is.
What's this? It feels like something shaking in a glass. The Joy-Con can convey to you the feeling of ice cubes colliding in a cup. You can even tell 1, 2,
the counting gets me.
3. The number of ice cubes in the glass. And you can feel water filling the glass. This new sense of realism is produced by the precision of the new HD Rumble.
All right,
I love
that's
the
it.
name, the HD Rumble. I mean, it says it all. It's just
They
gonna
went back
be
to Rumble. They went back to Rumble.
Yeah, they went back to Rumble. It's just gonna be Rumble. I mean, you're gonna have sensors probably and Rumble sensors in different parts of it, but their analogy there was strange. I'd have to truly hold it and see it to believe it have that effect. Like, does it? He talks about it as if the weight of the thing you're holding changes. Like,
Exactly, like with the
fill
volume
it
of
up with water.
That's a bunch of
And
bullshit.
you just use a little common sense, and it's like, not unless you add mass to it is the weight of it going to change. And how do we have that technology? I don't know. And why would it be used for that purpose?
Are we gonna sound stupid because this thing's so good? I doubt it. All right, so here, I want to give a little
I
context.
mean,
to
it's
this.
possible. It's possible, and I hope the console's good. I hope the console's good, but as far as
For
the
Nintendo's
Joy-Con
sake.
controller, this is where I have my most doubts, because it brings back the motion controllers, and one thing I wanted Nintendo to stop doing was motion controls. Because I love Nintendo games. I mean, I love Nintendo games, but in Zelda, I don't want to have to flail my arms around to do a hook shot. I'm sorry, but I don't. And I grew up my whole time playing it without motion controls, and it was just fine, if not better.
Exactly. All right, so here's something funny. We were watching this. This is like when my wife was still tuned in, because we'll play the Wii U together. That's why I got the damn thing. But we're watching it, and it's about up to this point that she quit watching because she just didn't understand what the hell this was. So then this Ice Cube thing came on, and she was just completely perplexed, and it just was really weird and awkward as hell. The other part about these Joy-Cons too is like they showed how you can hold it, where they had shoulder buttons on the top. But like, I mean, I don't know about you, Finch. I mean, I'm 30 years old. You're 31. I can't like bend my fingers flat like that on the top, and oh my god, it's so bad. I'm sorry, it's bad.
No, it looks painful to use, but it's something I can't judge until I use it, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm an expert on it, but my hands are regular man-sized hands, and I just don't think it's made for regular man-sized hands. And the little peripheral thing that you actually plug those Joy-Con controllers in, it doesn't make it look any more flattering to use.
Well, I honestly I think the whole tablet thing's pretty cool, because having had the Wii U, one of the features I didn't expect to take advantage of was the second screen on the gamepad itself. I love that. I love that so much, because the wife would be watching some shitty fucking TV show, and I would pull out the gamepad and play Mario Kart or whatever on it, and it was fucking fantastic. This
No, I do love that. When I was referencing is the actual, how the Joy-Con controller is, they're two separate pieces, so you actually have to put them in the controller port. The plastic piece.
the little
that you have to
slider
put 'em
thing,
in.
like you slide them down.
No, not sliding it.
Are
On
you
the
talking about
console itself.
the base
That-
station?
No, not the base station. I already
What
have
do you mean? Tell
communication
me.
issues. Let's see how I can describe it. Not the Joy-Con controller by itself. Okay. When
okay.
you actually use both of them together to form a regular controller.
Oh god, yes.
That's how you're supposed to, how me as a hardcore gamer am supposed to play hardcore games with. And what I was saying is it doesn't look too comfortable or flattering to use when you compare it to a simple PS4 or Xbox One controller.
It kind of harkens back to like the Xbox One controller, that behemoth. But at the same time, I say that, but I kind of like that big controller. But maybe not in retrospect, now that I've been playing with the 360 one so much.
Right. And if you are a hardcore gamer and you don't you don't want to use that as your main controller, well then all it's going to do is cost you $70 plus tax to get the Pro controller. Let's just say most people are that I see here in a lot of the comment sections are most of them pleased with that, because that is some bullshit right there. It is $69.99. You can go on Amazon. You can get a brand new wireless official Xbox One controller for $48.87 right now.
Now, what exactly was $69.99? Was that the Pro controller?
Just the Pro controller. Okay, just so you can have a regular ass controller that's
$70.
That they've been designing the controllers this way for 15 plus years now, and they want to charge $70 for one. So cost of entry, if you want to play with, like you said, your wife, yeah, that's gonna be, you could buy an Xbox Elite controller for that money.
Ooh, yeah, the Xbox Elite. I've touched yours. It's really, really nice. Okay, so sorry to cut you off, but you're mentioning pricing. Let's just hop into it. So Pro controller is $70. What's the price of the actual console itself at launch?
Well, the console will be $299. I was hoping it would be, realistically, I was hoping it'd be $249, $250.
Oh yeah.
But they wanted to add in the extra $50. Most makers don't make a whole lot of money on the console itself, so I don't know how much they're making or losing on it, but it seems a little steep for me, since you can get these brand new Xbox Ones and PS4s for cheaper in a lot of cases, and they come with games, if you get a bundle.
Yeah, they didn't even mention if there was going to be a bundle. I'm assuming just the hardware itself is $299 with one tablet and the 2 Joy-Cons that come with it.
Exactly, and I guarantee you they're gonna have a Zelda Breath of the Wild bundle. Since, surprise, at the end of the Nintendo conference, they had this big reveal. They played it up, but I knew the whole time what it was, and it's gonna be Breath of the Wild is gonna be a launch title. Big surprise, because they only delayed it 20 times to make that happen. So I don't know why they thought that was going to be such a shocking revelation, but that's what they decided to use.
Well, that's going to be the fun part about this discussion. I want to go back to it because I want to talk about launch titles and stuff. So before we get there, there's one last piece. There's 2 last pieces of pricing information. Number 1 is how much are the Joy-Con things themselves? Do they have a price for that?
So prices usually don't surprise me, but this one did, because one Joy-Con controller costs $49.99, $50 plus tax.
Wait, just one? Like one little one?
Yeah, one little one, like almost as if you're getting half a controller,
Don't say it like that.
It's like getting
That's
half
hilarious.
a controller for $50, and it's an incredible deal. Nintendo, why? Where have you been all this time? So like I said, on Amazon, $48. You can get a brand new wireless Xbox One controller. Not
with
to
2 analog sticks, not just one. With 2.
It comes with 2 analog sticks, which is insane. I know. But yeah, so with Nintendo, you can get a half a controller for $49.99. Now they do become more generous. If you buy the pair, 2 Joy-Con controllers, it's only $79.99, which is a steal because it's only $10 more than the Pro controller.
Dude, oh my god, yeah, that is a fucking steal. I don't know what to say. Like, that's I have to.
Well,
I have to have that.
Those are the prices that we're dealing with. So realistically, cost of entry. People talk about how much a console costs. They just only want to focus on $299. Costs $299. But no, you're gonna need a Pro controller. You have some friends. You're gonna need some extra Joy-Con controllers. And then if you actually want to play something, you're gonna need to spend $60 per game, as Nintendo does. And their games, unfortunately, they never go on sale. Rarely, they never go down in price. They seem to be masters of stopping production on them, so that the demand just gets worse over time instead of less over time.
And all they do is fuck themselves and just lose a bunch of volume, and I think it's a dumb.
Exactly. It could be money that goes to them. Instead, it's going to third-party sellers. So you find, popular Nintendo Wii game, even when before the Wii U was out, it would cost you $100 because they stopped making the game and you had to buy it online where supply was limited.
All right, so all right, that all sounds kind of bad. I was hoping for $249 because, like, even if you're on the fence, that shit's just gonna fly off the shelf for Christmas and all that shit.
Overall, I would say at this stage, I still have the curiosity. I still like the concept, mainly the portable concept. Like I said, I had a 3DS. I really like Nintendo. If I can play HD graphics, portable or on the big screen TV, I really do like that aspect. But I really am against motion controls, including you can get the Joy-Con wheel for $14.99, a piece of plastic, and another piece of plastic to put your $80 Joy-Cons in. So you got that going for you, but I hate that. No one wants to play Mario Kart with the Joy-Con wheel or the Wii wheel or any motion control whatsoever. I'm sorry. No one that's not a kid or super casual, and like you said, you're casual.
I'm a dirty casual.
Dirty casual, exactly. But I don't think you would even want to use a motion wheel for that.
No, and when I go on, sometimes I dust off Mario Kart 8, and I play it on the Wii U, and I play online for like 10 minutes, because then I get just really fucking pissed off when I see a green shell come back and just fuck me, and then I'm just over for the match. When you're playing Wii U online, you can actually see what controllers people are using. They have like a little icon. And there are still a few of those motherfuckers that use the Wii Mario Kart wheel. And I just, if I don't do better than them, then I just turn the fucking thing off. I can't.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I haven't experienced that without having the Wii U, but that would piss me off too.
Very much, very much.
Now is Mario Kart 8 out? Because I thought it was a launch title.
Okay, Mario Kart 8, if anybody is confused, because this was a little weird to me, because I looked at what is called the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe trailer, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, like, new Mario Kart. This Mario Kart's going to launch with this shit. Fuck yeah.
Of course.
So I watched the trailer, and I was like, wow, all this looks really, really, really familiar. I had forgotten that Mario Kart on the Wii U is Mario Kart 8. I thought 8 was the next one. I just had forgotten because I bought it like 3 fucking years ago. So I watched it, and it's like, it's all the same courses. Of course, it includes the DLC courses that I paid for the Wii U, which were really good. I really liked what they did there. But it looks like it has 2 things that I noticed that were different. The first thing is that it includes Splatoon characters, which I could just give a fucking shit about.
Now, I will say I wish I played Splatoon. I think as the person that plays games like I do, I would enjoy that game. And just to kind of preface my opinion overall on Nintendo before we continue talking about it, is that I love their games. I wish, just probably like many people, I wish they were a software developer only. I hate the cost of entry just to play one of their games. That's what kills me about Nintendo. But by no means are the games bad. By no means are they not quality, and usually different from Western games. I do like that about that. I am a JRPG fan, lover, play all the Final Fantasies, Tales of, I could name many more, of course, but just having to buy the whole thing just so I can play one game hasn't sat with me since the Wii came out.
Dude, we're buying games on the PC. We both bought our PCs and set them up like 6 years ago. We're buying games on Steam sales for fucking $2.49. Like, it's a bad proposition in the market and the way it's gone. It's bad. Every single big AAA title on all of the consoles that come out at $60, for a fact, 2 fucking months later, that fucking shit's going to be $25, $30.
It's not even. And something that we both did recently is we bought The Witcher 3 for $20, and I've probably put 100 hours in that game, and I feel like I'm halfway through the game.
And I'm a dirty casual and put in an hour so far, but that's besides the point. I want to talk about the actual launch titles that are going to come with this fucking console.
Okay, see, I didn't hear about this, so this will be interesting.
Okay, the first one, of course, is going to be Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, of course, it's coming out because on the last generation they didn't have a fucking Zelda game, so of course this is going to be a fucking launch title.
Oh my god, isn't that sad? You have a whole generation. And that's not even talking. That's not even.
They teased it. They fucking teased it. They pretended like it was going to come out for the Wii U for a while. Then they delayed, and then kind of was like, yeah. It'll just be for both.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it gonna be for both?
They say that now. We'll see what they do.
Well, they did that for Twilight Princess. It was on the GameCube and the Wii.
Okay.
At the same time. So
they weren't in the same dire straits financially, though. Well, not financially, but as far as their market share going down back then.
Right. And then, of course, another thing that frustrates me about Nintendo, God forbid at launch, or hey, how about a game within the past 3 or 4 generations of Nintendo, Metroid. I'm still waiting.
Oh yeah,
sorry, I had to get that out.
Hang on.
I know you may not be the Metroid guy, but I beat Metroid 1 on NES when I was like 6 years old. I just played it. Had the Nintendo Game Power magazine to help me get through the levels until I memorized the whole thing, and I love it. And I would be okay with them to come out with a 2D Metroid. That's all I'm asking for. It's not much.
But wait a minute, dude. I think you're mistaken because you got your Metroid game on 3DS. They came out with a Metroid game last year, right?
I vaguely remember something about a multiplayer, something
multiplayer in the fucking 3DS.
Yeah. So let me just get your gamer code tag thingy, and we'll get right on that one.
But it wasn't even a Metroid game. I mean, it was like Metroid skins and like a battle arena. It's a bunch of horse shit.
Right. It was a totally different game with Metroid skins, if you even want to call it that, and I don't think there's anyone on this planet that considers that a Metroid game.
Nope. Now, here's the one thing that I want everyone to know, because it's real easy to rag on Nintendo. Everybody's been doing it for a while, especially with Wii U. I think I can speak for you too, Finch, but like, I want it to succeed so bad. I love Nintendo, even though I'm not as hardcore as you. It was my very first gaming experience. I've played it all throughout the years. As an adult with disposable income, I bought the Wii U. I want it to work so bad, but god damn it, like they just keep stumbling over and over again, and they can't get out of their own way, and it's sad, and I want them to do good.
It's like when you root for a sports team and they haven't won anything your whole entire lifetime, but you still root for them. You want them to be successful. That's kind of how it is with Nintendo. So obviously, early on, they were hugely successful, but that's what happens when you're pretty much the only company doing it. But they still held their own with Sega. But after that, they really only, if you really think about it, they really only survived one generation with real actual competition.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But once the PlayStations of the world started coming out, I mean, it's been pretty much downhill. I don't want to say Nintendo 64 was a failure, but it had, it doesn't have a gigantic library of games. It has a very good library of games, but not gigantic compared to PlayStation. Now, that doesn't mean, that console necessarily better because it has more games. Obviously, look at the Wii. It has probably the more games than any system ever created, but you'd be good luck finding a good one that wasn't made by Nintendo.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to read a list. This is an unofficial list of the launch games, but I want to read some of these names because they're kind of funny.
Okay, I'm going in fresh because I haven't heard.
Yeah, you haven't seen this. And there's
Except
another
for
thing.
Zelda.
There's another thing we're going to try to do in this podcast too. Is that we're going to try our best not to talk about this stuff during the week. I want to surprise you, Finch, with things I find. I want to surprise you with clips. I want to surprise you with stories and things, and I want you to do the same for me because I think I want our actual reactions to be genuine. We're just two buddies talking.
This isn't something we rehearse. Obviously, you can tell by our shit episode 1. As, we are now among the ranks of having a shitty episode 1, but it's going to be up to us to make it better, and we definitely will, and we definitely have a lot of content that we can go over, every couple of weeks.
All right, good. So, all right, I'm going to read down the list. This is an unofficial list. People who listen to this and give a fuck, all 4 of you. You can write us and tell us how bad this is, or how wrong I am on this. But the first game is obviously Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The second one is 1-2 Switch, and that was that half or quarter of what Wii Sports was. Whatever.
1-2 Switch. Now, I'm not super familiar with it. Is that the quick draw game?
Yeah. That's it's a game with like multiple modes, to do like milk a cow, do a quick draw.
Okay.
Here's one that sounds really bad. Two players are sitting next to each other, and I think it's called marbles or something, and they have to feel in their hand how many marbles are in the controller virtually, and then I guess they guess how many marbles, and the winner is the one who guessed right the most time. It's really fucking dumb. I don't know.
So do you think it could be like, there's 100 marbles in this, or you think it's kind of limited to...
No, it's like 4.
Probably
it's really small.
The 7 sensors they have on the thing.
It's limited to that, definitely.
Okay. Now, do you put the water in it? Like, do you actually fill it up with water, or how does that work?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. All right, that's how you give it weight.
Okay. That comes with weights. Actually, in the box, I'm seeing now that it does come with weights that you attach to the bottom of your Joy-Con controllers. They're only $29.99 each for 10 gram weights that you can put on there. And you can definitely tell a difference.
Remember, this is what's going to drive people in March, not a big like console launching, holiday season thing where, everyone's rushing to stores to buy shit for other people they don't like. I want you to listen to these titles and say to yourself, or react on the podcast of, this is starting to make me want to get this system at launch, okay? Because their shareholders are going to give a fuck about how many people want to buy this at launch. So I'm going to read this list.
Now, are you talking about, for example, you're someone that has a console and you're playing Destiny, you're playing The Witcher 3, you're waiting for all the new games that have been announced for this year, and then you're trying to decide if you're trying to buy this based on what's coming out?
Yeah, or you're like us. You're like part of the PC master race. You play PC, like, are you going to go spend, $300+ because right at launch?
And you brought up something that definitely triggered something in me just now, is that...
I didn't mean to trigger you. I'm sorry. Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. I think that if you're going to own multiple consoles, the best way to do it is have the PC and then have Nintendo, because you're going to have the most variety of games and access to variety of games, where majority of the games on PlayStation and Xbox come on PC right away. If not right away, maybe 6 months, a year later. I'm grown. Look, I don't need something to to last me. I don't need something on day one anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the perfect combo for me. I mean, that's why I justified the Wii U period was...
So it kills me when it's not exactly what I want. I mean...
Or even most of it. Even most of it.
I'm not trying to say that as being selfish. I'm just saying, if you're going to make me buy your console so I can play Mario, so I can play Zelda, so I can never play Metroid again, then, make it to where I want to buy it, and go along with my PC gaming.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to read these titles. Hopefully they're going to make you want to do this, everything you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, so first one, Just Dance 2017.
Okay.
You're going to be using those fucking Joy-Cons. You know it. You're going to be shimmying and shaking.
That's true. That is one reason the Joy-Cons cost $50 for one.
All right. Here's the next one. Has Been Heroes.
Has Been Heroes?
Yes.
Okay, I don't...
No
I
fucking
have no
idea what that is.
No idea.
All right. The next one, and a lot of these we're not going to know. Okay, that's because they're launch titles, new IP, right? Okay, Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips. Is this like a shaving simulator?
Don't ask me, dude. I don't fucking know. I'm reading the list. I haven't seen that shit.
Oh, I thought you had more information. My bad.
Maybe you can use like the Joy-Con and like rub it over, your head, and like it'll like make buzzing sounds, and you can tilt it a little bit and like feel more resistance, with with the vibrations or something. You know, just like you can feel marbles or ice in a glass. You know,
I was kind of picturing it as like it kind of senses and it's like a race who see you can shave your face first.
Oh,
kind
that's
of thing.
cool. That's cool.
Like a shaving simulator.
Yeah,
you know, incorporate a PvP element into it. Something we've all been needing for a while.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. All right. The next one is Super Bomberman R. Now I have to admit I've never played a Bomberman game.
Now I have played a Bomberman game mostly with my nieces. They're fun, but I lose interest. I don't know. When you have a central concept that focuses on one element of gameplay, it can be good, but I tend to lose interest on that pretty quickly.
Okay. All right, some real fucking nerds out there are gonna be pissed at me for this, but
don't do it.
I'm gonna mispronounce it. Disgaea 5 complete.
Disgaea. I can't see it. Is it Disgaea?
It's Disgaea.
Disgaea. I think it's Disgaea.
Disgaea. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Thank you for correcting me.
Well, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
listeners.
of course. Fuck you.
I'm talking to the listeners.
Oh, listeners. Oh, yeah. Fuck them. Fuck the listeners. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't want listeners. We don't. That's
no.
Don't want
This is just fun for us. This is an ego trip. Okay. Next one is Puyo Puyo Tetris.
All right, Tetris. Sweet.
Yeah.
I can play Tetris anywhere. Okay, go ahead.
That's a launch title that'll drive me to the stores. Rayman Legends. I haven't played that on every fucking device I own, but okay.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Are you sure that it's actually Rayman Legends and not like a Legends 2 or
No. It's
some sort of, because I swear I feel like I've had Rayman Legends for 5, 6, 7, 8 years now.
No, dude, it's the one, bro.
Like I've owned it myself for at least it feels like 10 years now.
Exactly. All right, the next one is Steep.
I'm confused. Okay.
Next one is Steep. I don't know.
So for all of you guys that don't want to play Steep on PlayStation 4, you know, maybe look at the Switch. You know, it's just an option.
Maybe look at the Switch. Maybe.
That's what Nintendo's offering you there. Okay, that's interesting. You can do some. You
It's
can't
giving
really
me
jump
heartburn.
off. Well, you can't jump off a high mountain, you know, in the subway without, you know, while you're riding the subway without your Switch. So, makes sense there.
Oh man, Nintendo's got to make that thing like online only, just to like put a fucking cherry on the top of this.
I was gonna say,
just so those like fucking 9 people on every gaming podcast I listen to, that all the gaming podcast guys are like in fucking LA or in fucking New York City or some place with an actual public transit infrastructure, and they're like, I don't like Mario Go because I can't play on the subway, and it's just the rest of America's like, shut the fuck up.
I know, like we all live that lifestyle. It's just insane, but
all right,
whatever.
two more. Let's finish this up quick. All right, Skylanders Imaginators. I think that's their latest game that I don't give a fuck about.
I thought that shit was dead anyways. I thought Skylanders was dead, but okay, they're gonna continue on with that.
All right, last one is I Am Setsuna.
Oh, that classic game.
I don't.
That
do you
game.
know what that is?
I do know what that is. That game came out on PC, I think, early last year, or in the middle of last year sometime. And it's a classic JRPG throwback.
That's so unique.
You could probably play it on your phone. Like I don't know, there could be a phone version. I wouldn't know, but it's not exactly something that needs high tech. We'll put it that way.
So, I mean, is this driving you to the cash register at your local retail outlet or what? I mean, that's it. That's the launch titles I got.
Well, I definitely don't want to dance, and I already like own half those games. So
can I say something real quick? I gotta say something.
Okay.
Why the fuck aren't there more Nintendo fucking games on this console at launch? Seriously, what the fuck? First party Nintendo games.
I know when we were going through the list and you said this is the last one, I was like, the last one?
What are you waiting for, a Mario or something? You waiting for a fucking Mario? Well, fuck you.
No, I was waiting for Metroid. Where the fuck's Metroid?
Oh, get off of that Metroid shit.
I want to play Metroid. Damn.
Well, anyway. So, yeah. Here's a couple other key games that were mentioned at the press conference. Or I guess it was a press conference. Reveal, presentation, whatever. I know you guys have been dying for this to get onto a console or any device that you can actually play it, but Skyrim is going to come out in fall 2017 for the Nintendo Switch.
It's not even a launch game? Are you serious?
The game that's fucking 6 years old, yeah, it's not a fucking launch game. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out like fucking 7 months later.
Oh man, that's right in time for their online subscription fees. Sounds like.
Wait, don't spoil that. We're gonna talk about that. That's good shit. Hang on.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little teaser. Yeah, it's like what we like to say in the industry. It's a teaser. Stick around.
Tease it up.
All right.
Keep listening.
So yeah, and that was sad watching Todd Howard kind of present that game and have to like fake enthusiasm. Like he's a good businessman, a showman, a developer, whatever. That was but it depressed me.
In all seriousness, I thought it was. I just assumed that it was going to be a launch title, but I guess with Nintendo, you can't even assume that. But thinking back on it now, it probably makes sense because they have to like reprogram the whole game so you can play it on one of their little Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah, and so you can like it can run on the NVIDIA Tegra or whatever the fuck the processor is. They got to do something different. Ugh.
The more I heard about the Joy-Con and everything, it just made me think, oh, more roadblocks for third-party developers and same roadblock, similar roadblocks for why they didn't develop for the Wii U, and I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, and that's the other problem too. I mean, let's be honest, like. Why can't they do some cool, unique Nintendo shit, but also have some regularness?
Well,
so
you shouldn't.
Third parties will actually fucking go on this thing. God damn it!
It shouldn't take you 8 months to have a game that's been out for 6-7 years already be developed for your console. Like, how much work is actually needing to go into it just so you can play it on the Nintendo Switch? And is that going to be appealing to other developers?
The architecture's got to be bad. They probably have to do a lot of porting work. I mean, it's just bad.
They have to learn all new systems, all new programs,
new tools, everything. All right.
Do you think they would learn from that?
Next one, Super Mario Odyssey, which is like basically the new Nintendo, or excuse me, Mario 64. It looked fucking boring to me. It was not Mario Galaxy. It just looked boring. It's going to be out holiday 2017, so it's going to come out even after. Like several months after fucking Skyrim comes out for this thing.
Well, it seems like they're going to try to bank on having... You're going to have your freaks that have to have everything on day one. So they're going to get it. And then their next big push will be holiday season. Now, I'm going to have to differ on the opinion. I looked at that Mario game and I got a little excited. It actually does look like a really good successor to Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine. It looks like a current update to a 3D Mario game, like a legit 3D Mario game, which we haven't had.
No,
the new Super Mario Brothers.
Hang on. This is where I'm going to tell you you're wrong. That's because you didn't own a Wii U.
Okay.
You missed Super Mario 3D World for Wii U, which was this.
No. That's not a. That is a. It had 3D elements, but it wasn't an open world 3D game.
It wasn't.
Like Galaxy, like 64. That's what I mean.
Okay, I get that.
This is a real successor to those type of Mario games, which have all been fantastic. So until they prove me wrong, my friend, I'm gonna have to be excited for that one.
I mean, you're the hardcore gamer on this podcast. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna succumb here. You win this one.
All right, you should.
All right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You're going to get to... here's the thing I wanted to say about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, in the fucking first Mario Kart 8, they had a battle mode where they just put you on the tracks. Okay? So, think about that. Think about like 8 other people online, but you're on the track. Okay? You're not in like a little arena. You're on the track.
You're on like a normal map that you would race on?
Yes, the normal one. So you almost never fucking see anyone. It was a travesty. So everyone was yelling at them, fix this, like we can't...
Oh, they would start you at different places? On the map?
I think it was the same place, but then you just have 3 people going different directions, and then you don't see anyone anymore. Barely ever. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, that just doesn't even make sense. I can't even comprehend that one. But
So
okay.
this one, they're gonna have it. They're gonna have little battle arenas. Woohoo! Splatoon 2 is coming out in summer of 2017. But the biggest title, like fuck The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the biggest fucking title that's coming out is going to be ARMS. It's called
Oh
ARMS.
yeah, ARMS. I did see that one.
That'll be
Now-
later this spring. That's when it's coming.
Oh, it's not even launch. Oh my god. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to flail my arms around, so I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I hate that they have the motion controls in the controller, as I've said several times, but the reason why is because it makes Nintendo force their developers to develop content for it when they could have been spending their time doing, oh, I don't know, let me just say Metroid one more time.
Exactly. Now, I have a quote from the game's producer, from ARMS producer, that I thought just summed up this whole thing really well. I want to read it for you. All right. And I quote, "It's like boxing, but it's also like shooting, where you aim and fire at distant opponents." End
Aim
quote.
and fire. Okay. Again, nothing that I want to do personally. Now, I mean, I guess this game really is not for us. It's not for... Well, maybe it is for you, because you are the dirty casual.
Dirty fucking casual.
You could box your wife anytime you guys have a disagreement on something. That might be, a way to settle a dispute. Or if you have a 5-year-old child that can pick up the controllers and flail their arms around, has fun doing that. But I don't know who else the game's for, to be honest.
I know. It's so true. All right.
I mean, does it appeal to you at all as a casual gamer?
Just a little bit, but it's gonna like segue into my next thing. Like, it's got online play, and I thought that was cool.
Okay.
But if you have played Smash Bros on the fucking Wii U, you know that online play is a bunch of horseshit from Nintendo. If it's not fucking Mario Kart, it's laggy as fuck. It's horrible. So anyway, let's segue because we don't have much time left, Finch. We gotta wrap this up. And we got one other subject to talk about. So
I know. God,
the last thing.
time's flying
Okay,
by.
we gotta go. So, the one thing they noticed, or the one thing I noticed, or the one thing they said that is driving me nuts is that you have to fucking pay for online play. Now, the elephant in the room is like the fact that you have to pay. Yeah, I can't imagine paying for fucking Splatoon online. I can't imagine playing for Mario Kart. Paying to play that online, that is ridiculous. But everybody's been saying forever, like, oh my god, do a subscription service for your virtual console games. You have a massive library. People would pay to access that, whatever. So they didn't mention anything about it. They just said a price would be named at a later date. But, I mean, what do you think they'll do? I mean, what do you think about paying online to play Nintendo games? Just like everybody else, Xbox finally came around. They fucking started adding games with gold and all that shit, so you get a little something. But
Well,
I mean, what the fuck?
I have mixed feelings on this. As far as being a PC gamer, one of the beauties of being a PC gamer, not only can I get my game, just if I have a little bit of patience, wait for it to go on sale, get it for $10, and I go hop on, play with my buddies right away without having to pay anything else. But if it's going to create an infrastructure that works and actually works, then it might be okay. I might be okay with it. And I think that's a lot of people's theory is, you pay for it, it'll be good. But it's going to be Nintendo's first time doing this, considering the Xbox 360 came out in 2006, I want to say. And they had online play, Xbox Live. I mean, you had Xbox Live on the original Xbox, but online gaming became really popular during the 360 PS3 era. And it took them a whole generation. It took PlayStation 2 and the Xbox One, or the original Xbox, a whole generation to figure out and learn how to do online properly. And let's face it, when's the last time Nintendo's done something the first time perfectly right away? I don't think it's happened.
It has not happened. I mean, the Wii U online system is absolutely terrible. We just really need to wait and see, but they seriously need to justify a monthly subscription, and a good reason to do that is not because everyone else is doing it. They're way too late to the game, and that is not a compelling enough reason. It's just not.
And it's very hard to be optimistic. So on this one, I'm going to be pessimistic on, and Nintendo is just going to have to prove that they can, before I would ever buy this system, prove that they can do online, just as good as Microsoft and Sony does. And then real quick, right before we change on subjects here, I was thinking about the games when we were talking about them earlier. And for all you people that want to buy the Nintendo Switch on launch, just think about this. You're going to have Breath of the Wild. It's going to come out on launch. So you're probably getting the system so you can play that game. But what comes out? What's the next big game to come out this year for the Nintendo Switch? That is going to be the new Mario game. So you're going to have from March 3rd all the way till sometime in December until you actually have another game that, besides someone extremely casual, is going to actually want to play. So their game selection for this year, you're waiting 9 months in between to get 2 legit games. I thought they wanted to fix it, but it looks like they're going to start off just like the Wii U started off,
or just like keep going horribly as they've been throughout the Wii U. But look, if they come out and with your subscription you get, freaking access to the virtual console games, they could kill it.
They would kill it. I would probably buy the system. I did hear, I haven't looked into it that much yet, but I did hear that with their subscription there was going to be some sort of game service. I believe similar along the lines with games for Xbox Live Gold or whatever. They are going to give away games or give you access to games. I don't know how that's going to quite work yet, but there is a game perk per se, if you want to call it that will come along. So that is definitely happening, but what form that actually takes, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. All right, I claimed we're a clip show. We are a clip show. I want to give you a little clip. It's a little random. I think it's funny. This clip has Sean Murray, the creative director, lead designer of No Man's Sky. He's talking to Colbert, and he is talking about now this is before it launched, but No Man's Sky multiplayer element. I just think this is hilarious. Here we go.
Do we ever get to see ourselves?
No, you don't see yourself, so the only way for you to know what you look like is for somebody else to see you.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes, but the chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't really have much to say about No Man's Sky. I didn't have the expectations.
We knew it. We knew it.
I mean, when you have just one person or a handful of people working on a game, and it's supposed to have more content than any game that's ever existed in the world it's supposed to have, have a little common sense, people. So for all you that fell for it, I don't know what to say. I just never believed it, so I was never disappointed by it. Now, as a game maybe I would like to play one day, being on a PC, it'll be on sale for $20 one day, and they'll actually have some content in there, because I hear that they are still putting content in it. But yeah, that part was a joke, and that Colbert clip is priceless.
I really love his wow at the end. That's the best. All right, let's switch topics completely. We're late to the game here. Okay, I know every single one of you has seen Rogue One. Should we spoil any bit of it? I don't mind not spoiling it. It's so uninteresting that I don't even know if it matters if we do or not.
Well, we can spoil it, because here's your spoiler warning. So if you haven't seen Rogue One, spoiler alert. Go ahead and turn the podcast off. This will be our last subject.
So, okay, I don't know about everybody else out there, how you feel about the movie, whether you liked it or not. I felt like everybody I talked to about it had some massive excuse for it. It was just, everything surrounding it was so positive, and I just I don't get it. So, to set up our discussion, I thought I would give a clip of what people are saying about it, and just
Okay.
kind of the general consensus out there. We got a few big names in this clip that say what they think about the movie, and I mean they say a lot. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna just go ahead and play this, and we'll just talk afterwards. Here we go.
Okay.
It sounds like this movie, despite being the first in the experiment of non-main Star Wars saga stories, still ranks way up there above maybe some of the actual original trilogy movies.
Okay, so multiple people have said, yeah, they liked it better than Force Awakens, Scott Feinberg, Jim Voda, and Scott Mendelsohn. But actually, Kevin Smith went beyond all of that. And he said,
Kevin
Holy
Smith.
Sith, Rogue One movie is unbelievably wonderful. No lie, it is Empire Strikes Back great.
Ooh, dang. And hey, I'm gonna one-up your Kevin Smith review with a renowned legend of film and television, the greatest film critic of our time, Dane Cook. He says, I just saw Rogue One. I'm gonna say it. This might be the best Star Wars movie.
Her voice grates on me. Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, that's your future reporters there, but yeah,
So
no,
let's
that
start with the
clip.
good. Let's start with the good.
Well, that first I've got to say that clip perfectly states kind of how I feel about what kind of ruined the movie for me, because I heard nothing but positive things. I was like, wow, this movie's going to be good. I love Star Wars. There's not a Star Wars movie that I don't like. There's definitely issues with the prequels. We can, definitely have a discussion about that on another day. But there's not a Star Wars movie that I didn't like, so I went in with the expectations that this would actually be pretty good, if not great, because I didn't hear one bad thing about it. And I hated it. I hated the fucking thing. I'm sorry, but I hated
it so
Rogue One.
much.
It was a piece of shit.
It got so
And-
much worse, like as time went on too, and I thought more and more about it, and remembered the money we spent on it, and it's bad, dude.
I almost really fell asleep during the movie. I mean, this is a Star Wars movie. I am a nerd. I have been watching the original Star Wars films my whole life. It's my favorite trilogy of all time, probably. If I were to name my favorite trilogy, it has everything in it that I like. It's done perfectly. This movie, it was the very first Star Wars movie that I didn't like it at all. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, before we get too negative, I want to say something positive about it.
Okay.
I thought, and I think everybody can agree, but I thought the visual effects were absolutely amazing. I really love seeing, although there's some plot holes here, but whatever. I liked seeing the real destructive power of the Death Star in high fidelity like that. That was great. I really like that. I didn't give a
Well, was
shit
it high
about
powered,
any of the
though?
characters.
No, I have an issue with that, because
Okay.
it has nothing to do with how you see it in the original trilogy. When in the original trilogy, Darth Vader pulls Leia out to watch her witness Alderaan being destroyed, and the Death Star fires the blast, and the planet explodes like nothing. It explodes like a bomb. It blows up. In Rogue One, it fires on the planet, and it hits the surface, and it creates these shock waves, and it looks like it does a lot of damage, but it by no means did it ever convey to me that it was blowing up these planets.
Well, I think
And,
that's because they mentioned they just wanted to kind of test it out, and they wanted to test it out in that town. So there is context there for that.
I guess, but then you're going from, a weapon that scratches the surface of the planet to like rubbleizing, or making it a speck of dust,
Rubbleizing.
or like
A
just
little no agenda reference there. I like that.
well, basically creating another asteroid field from the existing rock of the planet.
I get it, but even though that was a weak one, it still looked really, really good.
But how much better could it have looked if they actually did the whole thing? I don't know. My opinion.
But then we wouldn't be able to follow these dull characters for another hour and a half that we didn't care about. If they would have blown it up right away.
Exactly, and there's another reason. So for all you people out there that claim you like the movie, or your friends claim they like the movie, ask them who their favorite character was,
See if
and
they
you'll
can
probably
remember a
get
name.
you'll probably get the only response that I've heard, period, and that is, yeah, that one Asian dude. That one
Everyone
Asian dude in
says
the movie. So everyone says that one Asian dude, not even his name. Okay, so don't even try.
They say his real actor's name. Everyone I've talked to, because he's like in the kung fu movie shit. I think Bruce Lee trained him or something. I don't know his backstory. Everyone mentions that, but they mention his real name, and I say, which one is that? And they're like, well, the Asian guy. And I'm like, oh, is that what his character name is? Like, no, that's what he is as an actor. They don't even remember his character. They love him so much.
Yeah, it's just the Asian guy. And for anyone that's claiming, like we just heard Kevin Smith or people saying that, Rogue One is better than, Episode 7?
Empire Strikes Back.
Or Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's not even better than Episode 7 because I guarantee you everyone listening to this could name Poe, could name Finn, could name Rey, could name at least the main characters. As soon as they walked out of the theater, a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, you still know their names. And I can't tell you anything about anyone in Star Wars except for Princess Leia, Darth Vader at the end, and some Asian guy.
Be careful not to choke on your puns, bro. That part killed me.
Oh, man. And then making Darth Vader come off cartoonish.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And now, I'll let you start when you want to talk about that Darth Vader, but I definitely have some controversial opinions on that.
You got some controversial shit. I don't. I really like that scene. Everybody knows the scene. It's at the end. He's in the hallway on the ship where the plans are. It seems silly to me a little bit because if he's got all these incredible powers, and these guys are passing around this little disc, I really thought that he would see that and maybe just use the Force and pull it back to him. I don't know. That part was really kind of stupid, but it looked cool. I mean, I thought it was really cool, that part, but go ahead with your controversial bullshit. Your contrarian bullshit.
Oh, yeah. So,
you're hardcore, bro, so let's hear it.
My beef, my expert opinion, if you want to call it that, my beef with the Darth Vader scene. So if you talk to anybody about Star Wars or about Rogue One specifically, they're going to tell you the last 10 minutes. Well, there's another problem. Okay, another problem is people that claim they like the movie, they're just like, well, wait till you see the last 10 minutes. I mean, I don't want to watch an hour and a half movie so I can get to the good part. Okay, that's obviously a big issue.
That's a really, really good point. Sorry, go ahead.
So, I could obviously I just recurring that right now. Now, the Darth Vader scene at first, I actually really liked it, and I know why now. It's because I watched a whole movie that pretty much put me to sleep. Had no lightsaber fights in it whatsoever, or use of a lightsaber. You had the Asian guy who's like the holder of the crystals that make lightsabers, and at least he could have had one. Finn uses a lightsaber. He may not be a Jedi, but at least he picked it up and used it and killed some people with it. You thought maybe he could do the same, but he didn't. So that really did lack. So when you have the very last scene, for those that don't know, Darth Vader is coming down this hallway, and they do a decent job of making it kind of look like almost like a horror scene, a slasher movie, where he's just coming in there just going Mike Myers on the people. But at the same time, that, to me, with a new technology and having Vader being one of the most famous villains of all time, especially here, I guess, in America, and probably around the world, it didn't really convey to me the power of him. I mean, if you watch the scene, he does a chokehold or a force choke to one person, and then and to me it felt like it was in slow motion, like really slow, just and then he chokeholds another person and slashes a couple guys, and that was the end of it. That was it. So my point is the Star Wars universe itself has built up Darth Vader to be not just a Sith, but a special Sith, like one of the best, like unique,
everybody fears,
super powerful. But according to what I've seen, according to what I know, I'm more afraid of Darth Maul and Count Dooku than I am Darth Vader, because I saw them kick ass. I saw them kick ass way more than Darth Vader ever has. And I understand in the original trilogy you had technical limitations, and the lightsabers, they did like as if they were like long swords and they had weight to them and things like that. But there was no technical limitations for this one, and this was the first time where you had Darth Vader in his full get-up, ready to actually see how powerful he is. Like I said, all Jedis and all Sith are powerful, but Vader's special because he's quote-unquote more powerful than your typical Sith. But every villain in Star Wars I've seen had way more force powers, had way more capability than Darth Vader has ever shown, and then there's my beef. I mean,
Don't
agree with me or disagree.
Don't kill that for me, because I need those 2 hours and 10 minutes to be worth it. And
Darth Maul had way more skill than Vader's ever shown.
he was cooler. Yeah. You know, you're right on that. I can't argue.
I'm not saying he was cooler. I'm saying Darth Vader is cooler, but as far as force abilities and lightsaber wielding skills, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, the robot guy in Attack of the Clones, way more impressive than Darth Vader has ever been on any film.
Darth Vader in Rogue One, in that ending scene, was basically no different than Daredevil's hallway fight scene in episode 2 of the first season, and that was that. And I mean, and that was great to see, but
and that's my point. My point is the scene wasn't cool.
You're ruining
the point is the scene is not that scene wasn't cool. It's just if you put it in context. I just want people to think about it and put it in context. Then it really isn't that special, and Darth Maul would fuck him up, dude. Like in 2 seconds, based on what I've seen. He would fuck him up.
Yeah, I think you're right. Overall, I mean, it was such poor writing. It was childish writing. The little bit of comedic relief they had with the blind guy and his dumb little sidekick. It was really corny. It was cheesy, and I know there's some corny stuff in Star Wars, but I don't know. It was enduring. You know, it was enduring to see it. You liked it. This was just bad writing. This was amateur fucking writing. That's all it was. It was really bad.
It was like
a CW
corny.
Show.
There is good corny. You can be corny and good. I mean, if it suits you and it doesn't draw away from the source too
C-3PO
much.
is pure corn.
Right. But way better than, say, Jar Jar Binks, of course.
Ugh, and this was the first Star Wars movie that I didn't give a shit about the main droid, Every time there's a droid you kind of care about. And The Force Awakens did a good job of BB-8.
BB-8 is amazing.
Man,
I love him.
What a flatline that guy was.
And since we are on Star Wars, I do, just so, people can understand my opinion a little better, is that I am actually a really big fan of Episode 7, but it kind of depends on one thing. I need episodes 8 and 9 to be drastically, and define it however you want, but it needs to be nicely different than episodes 5 and 6. Okay, so but if episodes 8 and 9 are too similar to 5 and 6 and the whole trilogy itself ends up, because I understand, I get the criticism of episode 7 mirroring, being a mirror of episode 4. It's legitimate criticism, but for me, I didn't mind that because that movie was created in the 70s. So it's, they remake movies all the time. It was a great update to that, and it had its, definitely had its own things that made it stand apart that will allow the story to go in a totally different direction than the original trilogy. So if that happens, then episode 7 will still rank high. If it doesn't, then I think the effect of the other movies will bring the trilogy as a whole down to me, and I won't be as enthusiastic as maybe I am right now about episode 7.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I'd honestly give it an F. It's bad. As a matter of fact...
What, Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One.
Okay.
Just an F. It's just bad. It was really, really bad.
So you did have some feelings on the Darth Vader part. I know we kind of disagreed, but now that you heard my argument, are you starting to question
rub
that?
it in? Are you trying to rub it in? You might have swayed me a little bit.
Maybe we got a debate show instead here.
Well, yeah, we'll find out. But I mean, you did ruin a lot of it. It was really neat to experience just that lightsaber coming on, and then it was I don't know. My big problem was the stupid. I think I'm alone on this, but the stupid disc they were carrying this like incredible Sith that pulls things to him all the time to keep people from getting them. Just didn't notice. I don't know. It was just,
Yeah.
In retrospect, it was fucking dumb. But I mean, you're so right. The opportunity they had to make him super badass and not saying shitty fucking puns and just fucking almost like ruining a fucking character. You're right. You're right. It was
he should have walked in a room full of 100 of those guys, and you should have seen scenes with him killing 20, 30 guys at one time. I mean, crashing the whole thing, using his force to kill 30 people at one time and just slaughter people. I mean, just absolutely slaughter people, because that is the character that the Star Wars universe has said Darth Vader is. And I mean, we saw him kill 6 guys. In about 10 minutes he kills 6 guys.
Yeah, it's fucking
and not the right guy, as you point out, not the guy holding the disc.
Anyway, all right, so there's one thing I found on the internet that I thought was really, really funny. I thought it summed up our feelings really, really well. I've got to give credit to the source. It's Red Letter Media. Search them on YouTube. Their stuff is really funny. But here's just a little snippet of the review that I think, Finch, you and I can really, really relate to. All right, I'm going to play it. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Alderaan! AT-AT walkers! We go back to Yavin 4. Remember the rebel base?
I clapped when I saw it.
I clapped when I saw Darth Vader.
ATSTs! ATSTs!
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I applauded it for being different.
It broke new ground!
Oh, man.
I think that sums it up nicely. That's hilarious.
Man, that is funny. That's too funny right there. Oh, yeah.
So, all right. I think we beat this horse to death. I think we beat Nintendo's new Nintendo Switch announcement to death. I think it's time to close this chapter out of our lives and our listeners' lives. Episode 1. What do you think, man?
Yeah, this definitely wraps episode 1. I think we learned a lot. Hopefully we can touch on more subjects quicker and in the future. But Nintendo did have a big conference. It doesn't happen every day, so definitely cover that. But I hope everyone enjoyed it. I mean, it's only going to get better. So if you enjoyed it at all, please stick with us, because we are constantly trying to make this work better. We have minimal equipment, minimal experience doing a podcast, so with time, hopefully sooner than later, it should be good. And I think it's going to be better than most of the stuff that's out there now.
Absolutely. And I got to do what every podcast does, and everybody hates it, and I know you all are turning it off right now, but we really, really want your feedback. We want to hear what you think, what we can change, what we can do better, whatever. Tell us we're amazing. Tell us we're a bunch of fuckheads. Just tell us. Email us at player33show@gmail.com. That's player33show@gmail.com. And of course, please subscribe. Leave a review on iTunes. That helps us out a freaking ton. But anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
All right.